We got ourselves a whole squad of melee with Parasite coming back in as a Demon Hunter, Rosie Blade as an undead this time. What did you know? If you're undead, Rosie, you may actually regret going undead. The undead ratio actually doesn't matter, you're outlaw. But if you are assassination or subtlety, apparently when you have dots, the undead ratio of extra additional shadow damage can randomly proc and get you out of stealth, which is super unfortunate. Smoke on that team. We got us here. Actually, we got maybe one too many rogues on this team. We might have to separate you guys a little. Chicago on this team as well. And Smoke going to be first out versus Blood Dagger. As we got one of the first few rogues here. We got us as gonna stab you. We got Austin in here as a Void Elf Mage. I delete you as well as Top G joining back in. The eyes not going to be spawning, I think, for about 30 seconds to a minute from here on out. Yeah, maybe this is why we don't want to have too many rogues, by the way. You see this here, chat? You see in this here? This is why we only allow so many classes of the same, what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh, step for step as Blood does avoid the opener by Smoke. He's gonna go for the steps as Blood having to Trinket Smoke. Trinket's big damage on the Blood. Doesn't even give him a chance. What was that? Just absolutely eviscerated the boy. There goes a quick vanish. Is awesome. With the Ring of Fire, almost catching Smoke. He has no idea how close he was. Random orbs getting sent in every direction. Actually, sending orbs more or less where Smoke is at. If he gets himself a blink around the corner with a Nether Tempest, he actually will have it. Ring of Frost, try to see if he can pincer the rogue in. Almost hard to go for. Actually goes for a trinket on the sand. That is so aggressive. That's Arcane Mage for you. Got himself the Altar, so should be a-okay. Smoke used up a lot of his offensives on the other rogue. Try to go for a kick on Austin. That's actually going to be completely dodged. This is going to be Austin. Got himself Ring of Fire. Smoke with a Cloak of Shadows, trying to see if he can separate it out. It's going to be a opener. Try to get an opener onto Austin. Doesn't quite connect. I don't know if he went for cheap shot or not. I don't think it was DR'd or anything, was he? As Austin is at least able to get a dot rolling onto Smoke. Is able to go for a bit of shift in power. Smoke with advantage, gets himself a bit of a shield. That is going to eventually get him out in the open. Barrage does connect. Ring of Fire is going to almost connect fully. It's trying to see if he can set it back up. And Smoke has to walk the Ring of Fire. It's actually going to take quite a bit of damage. Arcanosphere is going to get him knocked back. Blind around the corner. Ice blocks it just to make sure he stays on this rogue. This man is just committing immunities, trinkets into some of the more simpler rogues he sees. Sam, Blind, are you kidding me? Trying to see if he can get ahead of Smoke. The guy got plenty of mobility though, as Austin does get himself the images available too. Still able to redot the rogue. The rogue so far has taken a bit of damage. Like, he hasn't really taken too much damage, but he's taken enough where he's like, you know what, not completely in a 100% winnable position, not super comfortable. That's going to be Sepsis. Austin does set up himself a big old altar time. Going to be damage versus damage. Smoke better make himself the biggest hits possible. Gouge into Austin. Barrage does proc and cheat death, and Smoke does go up in smoke and flames as Austin is able to knock the rogue back. Gonna be Rosie going in for grapple hook. Breath immediately for Austin. Got himself a full poly onto Rosie. Backing up out of the catching him in a Ring of Fire with an Arcane Surge. Might be able to force out a Cloak of Shadows out of the rogue. Does get a cloak out of him pretty early. For Austin, he still has himself Arcane Surge rolling in. That is still a lot of damage given. Got himself a bit of a barrier, a bit of a shield in order to see if he could recover some of the health from Prismatic. Cheap shot, immediate blink all the time at the ready. Got himself touch the Magi onto Rosie. Is it going to be enough damage? The missiles right after. Trying to see if he can maybe get himself a kick. If he can interrupt Austin, he might be in a good spot. Then it's going to be plenty big damage. Grapple does let him reconnect really quickly. If he has himself a killing spree, he might be okay. Going to be Austin repositioned with a Void of Racial, just shifting away from the guy. Ring of Fire as Rosie trying to see if he can maybe avoid it. That's actually going to be able to go behind the pillar. Austin stopped the Ring of Fire. That is going to put Rosie in a little bit of a better spot, but just surrounded with the Ring of Frost, as well as Arcane Orbs, as well as a dot, and Arcane Sphere is just going to hit him either way. Grapple past it, but still out in the open. Cannot catch himself a reset. It's going to be Trinket available. Maybe just Trinket a root at this point. Does go for a feint. Evasion, actually. Austin doing a little bit of damage. Does catch him in the touch of the Magi with a Ring of Fire. Arcane Orbs around the corner. Rosie just taking damage, and they don't even have light inside of Austin. Did they just die? Hold on a second. Do you just die right here? I think he just died. Oh, so close. Another Tempest? Is that going to be enough to kill you? You have no health whatsoever. You're trying to auto-attack the guy around the pillar. Trinket just to get out of a gouge. Got that rogue. My goodness. Breath immediately on here as he does go for the Trinket himself. Cloak of Shadows might be used here aggressively. Austin trying to go for a poly. Does get Seer out in the open with a Ring of Fire. Arcane Surge probably going to get a cloak out of the rogue. No. Not a cloak. Does have him dotted. He's just going to walk back into an Arcane Orb. He's gonna take a little bit of damage out here. Gonna be another orb with that cannon sphere, this time Trinket, or Blink rather, for Austin. He has a way to break out of these stunts. As long as he got himself Alter Time, he'll mostly be okay. Sepsis, Cloak of Shadows for the Rogue. Austin just needs to use everything he can to survive this. That's going to be a lot of damage for him to deal with. That's going to be a full secret technique, barely at any health. Does have Sepsis rolling on him, got himself shifting power. Maybe he can get himself shields. Does get himself a back blink with the last shield available. Breath on the tier. Does not have a way to break out of this CC. Poly, it is going to let tier catch up full health. Austin sitting down immediately for food, having to go for a poly onto tier. Austin is not in a great spot right now. Has himself Alter at the very least. Had himself barrages, got himself the range distance. Almost completed a full Ring of Fire, but Tyr is going to be able to retreat back behind the pillar. Ring of Fire almost catches him. He's just going to have to walk into the ring or at Austin. Try to go for a gouge and still touch the magic with a fire. You just walk in it. That's going to add up extra damage. All this damage over time. You're just hurting yourself, Tyr. You don't have a cloak for this one. With our Catasphere, I think this man's dead. Barrage will kill him. Hold on. Is he down? Is he okay? Is he going to live? Austin just backing up out of there. Tyr needs food. Tyr needs something to help him survive. Austin admittedly picking up the eye. At least he wants to be able to see where the rogue is at. Sitting down for food. The rogue cannot get aggressive right now. He cannot. He also cannot heal. We're at 35% dampening. You're not. The super cup is going to do a little bit. It's better than nothing. Ring of Fire is going to be able to get caught. Almost got caught. Actually, I think was able to avoid it. Just stepped out of the ring. Stun onto Austin. Sepsis big damage. Got himself a shield. Barrages are going to get the rogue low with the touch of the magic. Maybe it'll be enough. Got himself Alter Time. Maybe it'll be okay. Does Juke a kick? And Tyr got nothing left. Just get absolutely barrage while behind the pillar. With Parasite going to be next. At least the mage got himself an ice block. The Demon Hunter trying to give him as much of an auto duel as humanly possible. At this point, Austin does not have invisibility. 30 seconds on that. Maybe he can get himself a shifting power to get that back a little quicker. He got offensives. He got crowd control. No Alter Time for a little bit, but I think he might be able to buy himself enough time. That being said, Parasite got some of the bursts Demon Hunter damage I've seen. Stun onto Austin. Does go for the backflip as he gets himself the I-beam to metamorphosize for a second. Volley right after for Austin. As Parasite does not skip a beat at all. Big Arcane Surge could be a meta right now. May need someone for this one. Does matter to try to see if he can immune some damage and close the gap. Touch of the Magic is in Parasite taking a lot of damage. Trying to see if he can cut it back to the Ring of Fire. Parasite may have to press something here. Austin does juke and interrupt. That's going to be big sigil. Is not able to fully avoid it. Takes a little bit of damage from it. Parasite able to use mobility to stay on top of Austin the entire time. He doesn't let this mage out of his sight whatsoever. That is such good use of mobility for the DH. Austin trying to recover somehow, but a 44% dampening. That is going to reduce his self-healing. Does get him short on Arcane. Breath does not connect, and Parasite does end up eliminating him. That was ridiculous. But he is able to take him down. That is actually insane, the amount of damage a mage can do to rogues. But then Parasite able to counter him. But at this point, dampening kind of high. Parasite trying to go. Whoever's going to be up next is trying to give him auto duel. Does catch, got to stab you out in the open. No trinket available. Did have to use a lot of cooldowns in order to fight the mage. Big burst onto Parasite. I don't think he even gets a chance. Does go for another walk with a Sigil of Fear. He got nothing left. Unless he can meta. Does he have meta? That's my question. I don't know if he does. Stun, last second, does get himself I-beam. Maybe it's enough damage. Hold on a second. Big sigil onto the rogue, does blow him up. Picking up a couple of souls, caught up a little bit of healing, trying to go for eyes. He needs vision. He needs line of sight. He needs information to deal with the rogue. Does go for the eventual retreat, try to see if he can avoid CC from the rogue into an prison. Does he have any damage over time that he can deal with? Glaives are going to slow the rogue down, do a bit of damage. Cloak of Shadows for the rogue. Is it going to be a stun for Parasite? No, no cloak. Shadowy Duel. Blind. Parasite. Does he have an answer for this one? He does have a Sigil on to go to stab. He does not have weapons for a moment. Vengeful Retreat. Back up really soon. Could use it maybe to dodge a stun. Does he have enough here to cheat death out of the rogue? Oh, he barely survives it. How is this man alive right now? He literally met death. He was just at death's door, right? Standing on a welcome mat and decided, nah, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta run to the store real quick. Goes back to the rogue, slaps him down. He's back in here, and Top G is trying to give him as much of an honor duel as humanly possible. I don't think it really can, unless like Chicago goes up to heal you, but Parasite trying to go for this honorable bout, wants to fight Top G. He's gonna go for a bit of a vengeful retreat as soon as the Stormbolt tries to connect, but he's able to immune it. If he's able to stay in the air after vengeful retreat, he's able to immune crowd control and also reduce some of the damage taken. Big I-beam, big explosive onto Top G, does take him down. I think, hold on, Top G trying to see if he can fight right through it. Zerker's out of this one. Are you in one-handers? Are you actually playing one-handers right now? What is this going on? That is so unusual. Normally Top-G got big old spears, trying to see if he can charge out stun before he can reconnect. Parasite backing up out of the last second, does avoid the stun. Oh my god! How are you alive? Second stun out by Delete. You trying to see if he can live up to his name, looking to delete the Demon Hunter out of the game. Was not gonna give him even a smidge of chance. Wasn't gonna do it. But Chicago gonna be up next, at least giving Delicio, hey, you're gonna be dueling me. Delicio didn't have to commit too many cooldowns. I think he was able, he did have to use the, what's it called? Odin. I'm using like a whirlwind animation with my hands because it is like a big spin to do. But yeah, that was absolutely insane. Wow. Delicio versus Chicago, able to run in with every cooldown available, charging out, got himself full avatar stun onto Chicago, does go for the trinket with a wall, trying to see if that'll be enough to keep him alive. Delicio does not let Chicago out of his sight, though trinkets is the last to come out. Chicago is left with no health whatsoever, 63% dampening. You're not doing any favors yourself right now. You're not going to be able to recover at all whatsoever, unless you got Ghost Raptors. That's going to give us a Maelstrom. That might help you out a little bit. You do have Guardian Spirit. You got to find a way to lock down Delicio while doing damage while Guardian's active. Trying to see if you can use Guardian to fight against him with a full Bloodlust. Got himself a Sunder as a Stormbolt comes out. Fear onto all the pets. Chicago does get a root onto Delicio as they do have defensive cooldowns rolling in. And if you're able to survive this is the most amount of healing Delicio is going to have in this the rest of his run. Got himself Primordial into the stun, knocked back for just a second, got himself a Reflect, has himself in the Execute. Chicago just tried to use mobility while in Raptor form to get the hell out of dodge, try to go for whatever healing is left. Into a Lightning Lasso, that's gonna do a bit of damage. If you can get yourself another one going without Delicio getting any kind of healing, you actually win this duel. You have a win condition, it just means you have to wait for 30 seconds. I don't know if you'll be able to do so. Delicio tried to get himself an angle. He needs a Stormbolt and just go for a couple of executes. Got himself Rallying Cry, so he's borrowing as much health as possible. Sunder for the Stormbolt, trying to go for the big go. Is that gonna be it? Does get the execute at the end. That is so close. Actually, the closest match I've ever seen. Austin taking 3, but so does Parasite, bringing it back for his team little by little, clawing back that victory. That was incredible. We need to get them both to go again. I think honestly those two might need to go first against each other. Just a big old brawl duel to find out which one is going to be the ultimate champion. Waste all their cooldowns into each other so that maybe the rest of the team can even get a chance, because Demon Hunter actually insane, but so is this mage. All right, check as well as